The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. An article in The Guardian suggests America is getting sick of Harry and Meghan, although our podcast download numbers disagree. The Guardian writes, only a few months ago, the pair were media darlings in the US. Now they have become a bit of a joke. The animated sitcom South Park gave the first big blow to their stateside brand a couple of weeks ago with an episode featuring a couple bearing an uncanny similarity to the Sussexes. In the episode titled The Worldwide Privacy Tour, the pair travelled the globe with placards saying, "Stop looking at us," and chanting, "We want privacy." Harry's memoir Spare is parodied as "Wah." The couple also get advice from a PR expert who tells them to portray themselves as victims. Not terribly flattering stuff. Now the comedian Chris Rock has taken aim at the couple in his new Netflix special, Selective Outrage. Polls also reflect a shift in US-based attitudes towards the pair. Their approval ratings have plummeted since the South Park episode. According to polling commissioned for Newsweek, Harry's popularity has dropped 48 points since December and Meghan's is down 40. Now, Prince Andrew, the guy who palled around with a convicted sex offender, has a higher US approval rating than the Sussexes. How are Harry and Meghan responding to this seeming shift in attitudes? Well, let's just say they haven't exactly put out a statement saying they think Rock and South Park are hilarious and they love nothing more than laughing at themselves. The Independent reports that Charles is set to offer Harry and Meghan an apartment at Buckingham Palace, a suite of rooms that, in a weird coincidence, once belonged to Andrew. A source told the Mail, "His Majesty is furious with Harry, as is Prince William, but the King is not a bad man. He has no wish to see his brother Andrew homeless or penniless, nor does he wish to deprive the Sussexes of a base in the UK." Lady Victoria Hervey, a friend of Prince Andrew, went on GB News to clear up some misconceptions about Royal Lodge. She said, "The first thing to say about Royal Lodge is that it's only about 10 bedrooms and there is no swimming pool. Every newspaper says it's got 30 rooms. It's completely incorrect. I think it's sort of also quite obvious that this is Prince William wanting the house. This has nothing to do with budgets. This is William wanting the big house and he's not happy in the small one. For Prince Andrew, he's been in Royal Lodge for 20 years. It was his grandmother's house. It's very sentimental and he's got the dog, so why should he move? The Queen's dying wish was for him to stay in that house, but King Charles just wants to boot him out." Lady Victoria also believes Harry is on the road to exile. "I think Prince Harry is self-sabotaging his relationship with his brother so much that it has now become Cain and Abel. It's becoming a bit of a blood sport. Harry is getting himself closer and closer to being exiled. I think he's only 1 or 2 steps away from that happening." It sounds like Fergie has not yet been invited to the coronation, but she has other plans. Fergie was out promoting her book and said, "Well, I've decided the best thing about being British around a coronation, although I've never been to one, I think we should. I should set up a tea room at the bottom of the drive with bunting and cakes." In a separate interview, she discussed Prince Andrew, suggesting she can take care of him financially if she needs to. "This is really a matter for the Duke and His Majesty," adding that Andrew doesn't actually take taxpayers' money since he stepped back from royal duties, and that she's in a position to support Andrew and the rest of the family through my work. And I'm really pleased and proud to do that. Fergie and Andrew split in 1992, but have remained close. Palace Intrigue will be right back.
Hey, it's Jordan Ross Myers, the man behind Twitter's notorious Lee Radswell and Don Gunvalson. I'm inviting you to join me every week for the Pretty Corrupt podcast. Along with my co-host, reality casting director Stacey Noel Connor, and disgraced entertainment TV producer Nate Safer, we deconstruct pop culture's past, present, and future and probe the dark crevices of Hollywood, taking you inside the scandals, feuds, rises, and falls of society's rich and infamous. Alongside interviews with our celebrity friends and special guest hosts, everything is fair game on the Pretty Corrupt podcast. Every Tuesday on all streaming platforms and at storicmedia.com.
The Terence Higgins Trust released a letter from Prince Harry marking the UK's leading HIV and sexual health charity's 40th anniversary. Harry wrote, "For the past 40 years, Terence Higgins Trust has been revolutionising the fight against HIV and AIDS. What began as honouring the loss of a loved one has evolved into the UK's leading HIV and sexual health charity that provides essential education, funding and services to thousands living with HIV. I've been involved with Terence Higgins Trust for a number of years, and the fight to end this epidemic is a big piece of my mum's legacy. Like many, my mother grew up in a world where HIV was likely a death sentence, he continued. Yet in the midst of all that uncertainty, she led with empathy, finding the humanity in all around her and demonstrating the power of connection in the face of fear. While my mother did not live to see the success of today's treatments, I feel immense pride in being able to continue her advocacy with you. My biggest and heartfelt congratulations on this historic milestone. May the next one be that we celebrate a signal to an end of the HIV/AIDS epidemic for all. People reminds us the Terence Higgins Trust was established in 1982 in honour of Terry Higgins, who was one of the first people to die in the UK of an AIDS-related illness. Piers Morgan thanked Meghan Markle while accepting an award. Morgan received the Scoop of the Year award for his interview with Cristiano Ronaldo. Piers had left his job at Good Morning Britain after commenting on Meghan's comments on Oprah that led to his current gig. Piers said, "I'd also like to thank Meghan Markle, with whom there wouldn't be a Talk TV Piers Morgan Uncensored." And a wax museum in Poland is getting poor reviews for their facsimiles of Prince William and Kate Middleton, with users comparing the prince to Hugh Grant after 20 Jaeger bombs. The New York Post reports the Krakow Wax Museum, which boasts a measly 2.5 stars out of 5 on TripAdvisor, has become an international laughingstock for its dodgy celebrity wax figures, which are notorious for looking nothing like their subject matter. Highlights depicted in the video include a cockeyed Donald Trump, a jaundiced Jack Sparrow, and a David Guetta that looks more like the DJ and producer's Cro-Magnon ancestor. Wax Kate has a large forehead and brown hair. Wax Wills has a strange smile. One commenter said he looks as if he has an itch he can't scratch. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube Music, wherever you get your favourite podcasts. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. It's Palace Intrigue. Good times.